皆様、5分前になりましたので、ご着席をお願い申し上げます。お手元に同時通訳レシーバーがございますので、ご準備してお待ちください。チャンネル1が日本語、チャンネル2が英語です。
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Please take your seats. During the ceremony today, some guests will speak in English and some will speak in Japanese. Please use the receiver provided to hear the simultaneous translation. Please select Channel 1 for Japanese and Channel 2 for English.
本日は JT-60SA の式典にご来場いただきまして誠にありがとうございます。携帯電話のお持ちの方は
Thank you very much for joining us at JT-60SA Inauguration Ceremony. If you have a mobile device, please turn it off or set it on silent mode. Let me explain.
午後2時より記念式典を開始し、
The ceremony will begin at 2 p.m. and we will start the live streaming on YouTube.
午後3時20分から
And from 3:20
日本と
p.m.
欧州による共同記者会見を
We
行
will
いま
have a
し
joint
て、
press briefing
その
by
後
Japan and
順
EU,
番に
and then we will take you
JT-60SA
on a
の
tour
見学へ向
of
かっていただきます。
JT-60SA,
そこで集合写真を撮
and
影
there
い
we
た
will
します。
take a group photo.
There is a colored sticker affixed to the upper left of the name tag you received, and this is to identify your group during the tour. After the tour, a bus service will transfer our guests to the Mito Keizei Hotel for the reception, which is expected to start at 6:30 p.m. If you have not already selected the channel for simultaneous translation during the ceremony, please do so now.
それではお時間になりましたので
Now it's time to
JT-60SA
start
運
the
転開始記念式典を開始い
JT-60SA
たします。
Inauguration
本
Ceremony.
日私ども2名が司
Two
会
of
をさせ
us
ていた
will
だ
be
きます。
moderating the event.
私は
My name is
JT-60SA 計画日本側プロジェ
Takahashi,
クト
and
マネ
I'm
ー
the
ジャーの
Japanese
高橋
project
でござい
manager
ま
for the
す。
JT-60SA project.
Good afternoon and welcome to JT-60SA. My name is Sam Davis and I'm the Deputy Project Leader for JT-60SA. We are delighted to have you with us today, either in person here at Japan's National Institute for Quantum Science and Technology here in Naka, or joining us online. どうぞよろしくお願いいたします。
Thank you very much for joining us.
JT-60SA is the world's largest tokamak device, bringing us closer to fusion energy by combining high performance with sustained performance. It is a result of collaboration between more than 500 scientists and engineers and more than 70 companies throughout Europe and Japan.
まずはじめに先般ご案内の通り、私ども
As previously
JT-60SA
announced, our
チームは
JT-60SA team
10
achieved
大きなマイ
a
ルストーン
major
であります
milestone on October
初プラズマを
23rd,
達成いたしま
our
した。
first plasma.
本日はその
Today,
成果につき
we
ま
would
し
like to
て
make an
皆
announcement
様にご報告するとともに
on the
一緒
results
にお祝い
and
できれば
celebrate
と思
the
って
great
ございま
achievement.
す。まず最初に
First,
JT-60SA の
let's
これまでの
take a
進
look
展に
at
関す
a
るビデオ
video
を
which
作成い
presents
た
the
しましたので
progress we
ご
have
覧い
made
ただき
so
たいと
far.
存じます。前方のスクリーンをご覧ください。
Please watch the screen in front of you.
フュージョンエネルギーとは太陽や星を輝かせるエネルギーです。重水素、三重水素の原子核同士が高温のプラズマ状態で融合して別のヘリウムの原子核に変わる際に放出されるエネルギーです。フュージョンエネルギーを我々が住んでいる地球上で再現できれば、高レベル放射性廃棄物がなく、連鎖的に反応が起こるリスクもない、恒久的かつクリーンなエネルギーを得ることができます。そのフュージョンエネルギーを研究する世界最大級のプラズマ実験装置がここ日本茨城県那珂市の那珂研究所にあります。本体室に入ると目の前に見えるのが JT-60SA です。高さ 15.5 メートル、幅 13.5 メートルと奈良の大仏より少し大きなサイズです。この中には日本と欧州で作った超電導コイルが備わっています。フュージョンエネルギーを実用化するためにはこの JT-60SA での研究が非常に重要です。現在フランスに建設中の実験炉 ITER や発電実証をする将来の原経路の道筋を決める役割があります。 JT-60SA の建設は2009年に前の装置 JT-60U の解体から始まりました。約3年で本体を解体し、およそ8年かけて JT-60SA 本体を建設しました。
2013年組み立てが始まる頃には日朝双方がそれぞれの主張を繰り返し意見がまとまらないことが多かったと聞いておりますが、私が着任した時には日朝の良い関係が作られつつありました。より日朝が一丸となり対応しました。特に TF コイルが予定した納期に納入されなかった際には当初船便での輸送を急遽空路での輸送に変更することなどを取り決めました。
So this is our JT-60SA wall of fame. Of course, we couldn't have built the machine without the excellent close collaboration between QST and Fusion for Energy. But not only that, we needed the contribution of all of these many companies throughout Europe and Japan to build JT-60SA.
2020年に完成し、システムとしての機能を確認する統合試験運転を開始したところ、超電導コイルのトラブルが発生しました。
当日は超電導コイルの最終試験を行っていたところで急に電流が下がりました。それと同時に超電導コイルの温度が急に上昇しまして、最終的には試験装置内でヘリウムが外に放出されるという事態になりました。とても驚きました。
So when we had the arc on the superconducting coil in 2021, it was really a shock for us because we thought we were very close to achieving the first plasma at that time.
二度とこのような事象を起こさないように問題のある箇所は全部直すという意気込みでもって作業を進めました。作業している最中に新たに補修しないといけない箇所が見つかってきましたので、補修をして検査をしてということを繰り返しまして2年間要しました。ただその間にヨーロッパから専門家が来たり、あとは、メーカーの方の力を得たりしながらなんとか補修の完了にこぎつけました。
And in the end, we had to take a little bit different approach to reducing the risk. In particular, I think is quite novel and maybe very important for other projects who may not be able to achieve the machine integrity they need just by working on solid insulation.
2023年5月末、ようやく改修に目処が立ち、統合試験運転を再開できました。超電導コイルの通電試験を経て、加熱装置の調整をしながらプラズマ運転を開始した数日後に初プラズマを生成することができました。
そうですね、見た瞬間は本当に感動しました。そのトカマクプラズマをこの中央制御室で見ることができたり、あとその運転を始めてもう数日のうちに立派なトカマクプラズマをそれもチーム員全員で見ることができたということは本当に感動の一言でしかありません。
It was a very important and emotional moment because Japanese and European colleagues who were working together for a long time before were able to see this moment together in the control room.
統合コミッションまだ続いてますし、これを糧にこの2年間加熱、そして装置の増強、そして研究者の増強、そして知識も多くしていって、その後の運転ではもう原型炉ですとかITER級のプラズマを目指すということを考えております。
So Japanese and European colleagues within the experimenting team will work together quite hard in order to demonstrate that JT-60SA is a key step towards ITER and demo.
JT-60SA は超電導コイルを含めた本体、加熱装置、計測装置など世界でリードできる装置です。これからの加熱実験での成果で世界に誇れる日欧のフュージョンエネルギーの技術を生み出し、安全かつ安定したエネルギー源の確保に寄与できるように文部科学省としても取り組んでいきます。
フュージョンエネルギーへの道がまさに今 JT-60SA から開かれます。
Today, it is a great honor for us to show you JT-60SA actually in operation. So now, let's go live to the central control room. Ida-san, please show us what JT-60SA can do.
This is the central control room. I am the director of advanced plasma research at QST and F4E Research Institute. My name is Ide. We are honored to have with us Commissioner Simpson, Minister Moriyama, and Minister Takaichi. We will now start the operation of JT-60SA to show everyone the tokamak plasma. Commissioner Simpson, Minister Moriyama, and Minister Takaichi, I would like to ask you to push the button to start the sequence. Please stand up and look at the camera behind you. Please check.
それでそれでは各班の準備状況を確認します。
So let me check if all the groups are ready. RF?
オイル冷凍機班。
Oil cooling team. Power source.
計測班。
Measurement.
本体班。前景班。
System.
準備ができました。
We are ready.
はい、ではですね、準備が整いました。
It seems so that
では
everybody
で
is
すね、
ready.
シムソン委員、
So Commissioner Simpson, Minister Moriyama, and Minister
ボタ
Takaichi,
ンに手をかけてい
please
ただ
put
き
your
ま
hand
して、
over the button,
私が
and I will count
か
down
ら
from
カウントダウンい
5.
たします。
Please push the button on 0.
いきます。で
Let's
は、
start.
5、4、3、2、1、0。ありがとうございます。
Thank you very much. The sequence started.
はい。では、ご着席い
So
ただい
please
て、
take your
振り
seats
返って
and
正
turn
面のパネ
around
ルに
and
ご
watch
注
the
目くだ
panel
さ
in
い。
front of you.
この部屋にはですね、今、
In this room,
JT-60SA の運
we
転
have
に研究者、技術者
about
50名ほどが
50
参加しております。
researchers and
Not only
engineers.
Japanese, but also many European researchers joined here. この制御室内を少しご説
So
明い
let
た
me
します。
explain a little bit about
担
this
当グループご
control
とに
room.
固まって席
We
に
have
ついてい
different
ます。
groups.
まず右側にですね、
On the
本
right
体
hand
設備を
side,
担当
there
する
is
グ
a
ループ。
group that
左側
monitors the main
奥の方
equipment,
加
and
熱
on the
装置を
left hand
担当す
side,
るグ
there's
ル
a
ープ。
group that heats the
で
plasma,
超電導コイ
and
ル
a
を担
group
当す
that
るグループ。
monitors the
また、
superconducting
そ
coils,
の電源を担当
and
するグループがあり
there's
ます。
also a group in
前
charge of
方
the
にはですね、
parcels.
プ
And in
ラ
the
ズマ
front
制御を担当
are
す
the
るグルー
plasma
プ。
control group,
で、右手の後
and
ろ
on the right
に
hand
は
side,
計測器を担
in
当
the
するグル
rear,
ープ
we
がいま
have
す。
the group in charge of measurement
中
and
央にはで
diagnostic
すね、
devices. And
実
in the
験主
center
任
is the experiment
で、
leader
実験運転責任者が
and
座っ
also
てお
the
ります。
operations manager.
前面のパネルはですね、種々の情報が簡潔
During
に
the
表示
operations,
さ
the
れています。
information acquired will be shown.
The discharge request notified.
上段ですけれども、左
Okay,
の
at the
方から
top,
真
from the
空
left
容
hand
器の
side,
真空
we
度や
have
温度、その右
a
側は
monitor
クライオスタット
that
の真
shows
空度
the
や温度。
status of the
また、
equipment,
実
the
機
degree
と
of
日
vacuum
本、
and temperature
ヨーロッ
of
パ
the
の時間が
vacuum
示されています。
vessel and
さらに、
cryostat
その
and the
右手に
time
は
in
ですね、
Japan and
超電導
Europe
コイ
on
ル
the
が
right
十
hand
分に
side.
冷えているかどう
We
かを
have
確認するための温度セン
a
サー。
temperature sensor to make
こ
sure
こでは
that
で
the
すね、絶
superconducting
対
coil
温度で
is
表示
sufficiently
されて
cooled
いますけ
down.
れど
The
も、
values are
摂氏
shown
で言い
in
ますと
absolute temperature, but it is
-267 度
about
程度です。
minus
右
264
横に
degrees
は
Celsius.
次の方電
On
で
the right hand
この
side,
加熱装
there
置が
is a
実写され
display
るかと
for
いう
the
のが
heating
わかり
unit
ます。
used in the next
緑に
discharge.
光っていますけれども、
It is
次の
lighted
方電
green,
では
so
高
with
周
this
波加
charge,
熱装
with
置ユニットが
two
使
high
われます。
frequency heat devices will be
また、
used.
安全の確認
And of
というのは
course,
非常に重
safety
要な
is the
要件
most
です。
important.
すべてのドアが閉まっていること
You can
を
check
左下のラン
with
プ
the
で確
lamps
認
on
す
the
ることが
lower
できます。
side that
で、
the
中
doors are
央
all
ですけれど
shut.
も、シ
In the
ーケンスの
center,
進
2
捗
minutes
と
the
before the
progress
discharge.
次の放電番号、実験
in
開
the
始までの
center,
時
the
間が
progress of
カ
the
ウントダウン
sequence,
さ
the
れ
number
ま
of
す。
the next experiment, and the time until the start of the
次の
next
シーケンスは
experiment are
1
counted
メガアンペア
down.
のダイバータープラズマです。1メガアンペアには 4.5 秒に到達予定です。
It will reach
PC はユニット1、2ともに入
Unit
社予
1
定で
and
す。
2.
放電時間は10秒
Time
程
of
度を予定して
discharge
おり
is
ます。
planned to be about
In the
10
next
seconds.
sequence, we are going to try 1 mega ampere diverter plasma. The plasma current will be ramped up to 1 mega ampere in 4.5 seconds. EC will be injected with 2 units. Discharge duration will be about 10 seconds. Thank you.
欧州の研究者や技術者の方々も多数参加しておりますので、シーケンスのアナウンスは英語ですし、このように実験
All
主
of the
任も
announcements
日本語
of
と
the
英語で
sequences
次の放電の条
are
件を
done
説明
in
いたします。
Japanese and in English.
1 minute before the discharge.
はい、1分前になって画面が切り
So
替わり
now
ました。
it's 1 minute before the
右が
discharge. You can see the displays has
JT-60SA の断
changed.
面を
On the
示
right
してい
hand
ます。
side shows the
真ん
cross
中に真
section
空容
of
器、その周りが超
JT-60SA.
電導
In the
コイル。
middle, there is the
放電が始まると、真空容器内に設置したセンサーの信号からすり手した
vacuum
プラズ
surrounded
マ
by
の
coils.
断面が表示されま
And
す。
you will be able to see this cross
コ
section
イ
of
ルの色
plasma
が赤くなりまして、コイ
when
ルに
discharge
通電が開始
starts.
されたことが
The
わかり
coil
ます。
will turn
で
red
プラズ
and
マ
the
がつく
current will
瞬間
begin
にですね、プ
begin
ラズ
to
マを閉じ
flow.
込めるため
And
の
when
磁
the
場の
plasma
加工
is
を作って
turned
あげない
on,
といけないので、あらか
there
じ
is
め
a
通
need to
電が
make
始ま
sure
ります。
that there is a magnetic
緑で
basket
表示さ
to
れている
confine the
残りのコイル
plasma.
も放
The
電開
written
始
in
前10
blue,
秒になりますと通電
10
が
before
開
the
始します。
discharge, the
で、うまくプラズマが
current
発
flow
生し
will
ます
start.
と、
When we
左側の
succeed
画
in
面、
generating
今、
plasma,
黒くなってますけれども、
as
こちら
shown
に
here,
プラズマの映
you
像
will
が
see
映
the
ります。
image of plasma on on the screen.
4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
The plasma has been turned on. Thank you very much. The important parameters are the plasma current. A plasma current is 1 million amperes, 1 mega ampere plasma. So before we stopped the experiment, we promised 1 mega ampere, which we have now achieved. It is the biggest plasma current with superconducting tokamak with the Chinese and the Korean equipment. It took us long, but I'm happy we kept the promise. Thank you for being patient with us. On behalf of the team, I would like to thank you all. The discharge time was about, as been announced, about 10 seconds. The temperature of plasma was about 8 million degrees, but it is a fully controlled tokamak plasma. Volume was about 140 cubic meters, the biggest tokamak plasma in the world. So we can only there have been many days where we could only do a few shots a day, but thanks to the hard work of the team, we were able to reach this far in a month since the first plasma on October 23rd. So, to commemorate the attendance, we would like you to sign. So, I would like you to sign the plates where the buttons are attached. We only have 2 panels, so I would like to ask Commissioner Simpson and Minister Moriyama to sign the plate first.
Thank you very much. Minister Takaichi,
can you sign the plate? Thank you very much. So if you can show your signatures.
Thank you very much. ではですね、ホールの方々にも見ていただけるように、サインの方をちょっと立てかけていただきたいと思います。
We would like you to show the plates, the signatures on the plates, so that the people in the hall can see. Thank you very much for signing the plates.
これにてですね、中央制御室でのプラズマの運転の中継を
I
終了
would
いた
like
し
to
ます。
stop the live streaming of plasma generation in the central control unit. After taking the commemorative photos, ministers and the commissioner will go back to the hall.
進行を渡します。よろしくお願いします。
Tom-san, I will turn it back to you.
皆さん、ありがとうございました。
Ide-san, thank you very much.
JT-60SA のトカマクプラズマを無事に皆様にお見せできたことを
I am very happy that we were able to show you the tokamak plasma or JT-60SA to all the participants. So we will wait here to welcome the ministers and the commissioner here in this hall. Thank you very much for watching.
ここで大臣とコミッショナーをお待ちし
So
ている
while we
間、
wait
壇上にて
for
パネルディ
ministers
スカ
and
ッ
the
ションを行い
commissioner
ま
to
す。
come back, we would like to
準備
hold
が
a
ござい
panel
ますので、
discussion session
少々
on
お
the
待ち
stage.
くださいませ。
So please be patient while we prepare the stage.
はい。はい。準備が整いましたので、パネルディスカッションを開催したいと思います。まず本日のパネラーですが、
let me introduce the panelists. We have project leader Shirai, Ms. Susanna Clement, as well as Mr. Tony Done. Please, three of you come up to the stage.
So, you heard it, ladies and gentlemen, 1 million amps, 10 million degrees. Choi-san, looking back, what do you think were the main challenges to reach this point in the JT-60SA project?
Thank you. I think I have the three major challenges. The first one is constructing the superconducting tokamak, which is much larger than JT-60U, that is a former machine. And the structure of superconducting tokamak is much more complicated than the conventional tokamak, which is made up of the copper conductor coils. So we have to refurbish the JT-60SA, almost all the component system. For example, the superconducting coils, power supply system, cooling system, and dynamic system. So everything has to be refurbished from the scratch. And the second one is to assemble these components accurately. So, for example, the major component, such as superconducting coil and the vacuum-based sector, should be assembled in the tokamak hole on the cryostat base with a very small assembly tolerance in order to get a high-performance plasma afterward. The third one is, as you know, the overcome of the incident occurred in 2021. And at that time, 2 years ago, we have already coming to the first plasma very near, and but that incident occurred. And at that time, this incident, this is a short circuit incident, make us recognize that the superconducting tokamak need extra mindfulness in assembly design and manufacture, assembly, and operation. And we are very lucky that we have very excellent and competent experts from both Europe and Japan to deal with these challenges. And thanks to their great effort, we overcome all these challenges, and we are now, today, here.
It's really a great achievement. Tony, can you tell us a little bit about why today's event matters to the fusion community?
Well, I would say this is absolutely important. All we know about fusion is basically from experiments we're doing worldwide on many machines, small machines, big machines, medium machines. And we try to understand these. We try to develop models, which we then try to benchmark, validate with the experiments we're doing. And it's very important if we want to extrapolate what we know to machines of the future, like ITER and demo, to have some benchmarks on the way. So at the moment we have many small machines. There is a few medium machines like K-Star and East and Aztecs. And at the moment there's only, at this very moment, let's say this month and last month, we have 2 large machines, being JET and GT-60. So it's very important that GT-60 is now on this path. What is also important that GT-60 will have additional tools which JET doesn't have. So GT-60 has more heating power, so we can go further. We really can have here plasmas with a very high performance, and important to study how we can have this very hot plasma in the center and still benign conditions for the wall. So I see really a very important role for GT-60. And then also looking at the future, we are re-baselining ITER. We're thinking about different wall materials. And also here, GT-60 can play a very important role to give guidance to the ITER research plan and also to help for demo. So I really see this as a very important new machine which is added to a Palais where we really can benefit from. So it's an important day for the fusion community.
Very important indeed. Susanna, can you say something about the lessons that can be learned from projects like JT-60SA?
Yes, I think most of the lessons have to do with the collaboration. So first, on the technical side, you have the advantage of teams that come from different machines with different experiences, backgrounds, so you can put that together to solve all the technical challenges that you meet. Then there is also the organization part, where you have to learn to deal with different customs, different procurement procedures, different ways of handling contracts, and put all that together to have an organization that works. And finally, you also have the human aspect. So the most important thing is to be able to build a team that shares the same passion, the same goals, and learn to work together, to trust each other, and ultimately bring the project to a success. So I think we will have lots of lessons learned in this respect and continue to apply them for future machines, train a new generation, and continue the fusion plasma research.
Thank you. Shoi-san, how did it feel today to be able to demonstrate plasma in JT-60SA after all this time?
Yeah, thank you. So I cannot express enough that I'm very, very happy to see the first plasma and also the plasma operation today. I think that you are all witness that the very magnificent scene of the 1 megaampere plasma. So we are waiting for this scene more than 2 years and a half since the incident of 2021. And also it is already 15 years since the last shot of JT-60U, which is in the August 2008. So it's quite a long time. And all the IPT, Integrated Project Team member, are waiting for this moment for a long time. So now we are get the first plasma, and we are standing at the starting point of our project. So we are anticipating in the next stage of the higher performance plasma, which is coming in the next stage in the very near future. Thank you.
Tony, you mentioned JET a moment ago. How do you see the transition from the joint European torus to JT-60SA?
It's very. I just realized that I more or less started in fusion when JET was inaugurated 40 years ago by Queen Elizabeth and François Mitterrand, the president of France, and at that time president of Europe. And well, JET has been a kind of record-breaking machine. It was the first machine ever which worked with deuterium tritium. We had a world record in fusion gain in '97 of Q is 0.64. We had a world energy record for the fusion energy, and that was very recently in 2021 even improved to 59 megajoule. JET is still alive and kicking, but we are really in its last day. We just completed a DT campaign a few weeks ago. We are now doing 3 more weeks of deuterium. And then, like me, JET is going to retire at the end of the month of December. So for 40 years, JET has been a beacon of successful European collaboration. And we made immense progress, but we're not yet there. There's still so many challenges on the road to fusion, and JT-60 and also the expanded collaboration with Europe and Japan will help here. So our joint friendship will basically make the impossible possible. And we do hope that JT-60 will have as successful a lifetime as JET had in the past, and that it will be a new chapter in our shared fusion story. And I'm going to hijack this panel discussion a little bit, because we are actually more or less also symbolically having a transition from the past to the future, from one groundbreaking project to another one. And it's not just more, let's say, only the transferring the title of who has the biggest tokamak. but it's about passing the torch of innovation, of collaboration and dedication. We thought as JET team to kind of symbolically would be very nice to hand this certificate of having the largest operating tokamak in the world, and I hand it now to Shirai-san, project leader, and also Susanna as the acting head of the broader approach department. So, thank you.
Tony, thank you so much. Why don't you stand and maybe we can take a photo of this moment. That's great. That's great. So fusion will continue without JET, and one way or another, we will continue without you as well, Tony. Please.
Okay. Thank you, Vince. It's my great honor to that the JT-60SA has such kind of great certificate from JET. And in the past, we have 3 large tokamaks. That is JET in Europe, and JT-60 in Japan, and TFTR in the United States. And all of these 3 large tokamaks start operation almost near period of time in 1980s. And we have cross collaboration and also competition sometimes. And we record a very good, excellent performance. So that we can say that we are in the good rival. So now today we get this certificate. So that not only the plasma volume, but we have to perform the good performance worth of this size. So that we are going to proceed with the JT-60 plasma veneer. And for the time being, we keep this certificate, and we're waiting for the ITER in operation. So that all the time being, we'll do our best in JT-60 project.
Thank you. Well, I have a lot more questions, but I think that Commissioner Simpson and Ministers Moriyama and Takeichi are returning to the hall, so we have to wrap this up now, I'm afraid. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
So with this, we'd like to conclude the panel discussion. Thank you all very much.
まもなく森山大臣、シムソン委員、高市大臣が
Mr. Moriyama, Commissioner Simpson, and Minister Takaichi are going to come back to this hall from the Central Control Room.
So for those of you joining us just now, some of the speakers today will speak in English and some will speak in Japanese. So please use the headset provided so that you can follow the simultaneous translation. Thank you.
We
have simultaneous interpretation receivers. Channel 1 is Japanese and Channel 2 is English.
それでは来賓の皆様が揃いましたので、
So our guests are now
順番
here.
にお言葉を賜りたいと思
We
い
would
ま
like to hear
す。
from them one by one.
まず最初に
First,
文部科学大臣
the Minister of Education,
森山
Culture,
正
Sports,
人
Science
様
and
よりお
Technology,
言葉を賜りたいと
Minister
存じます。
Masahito Moriyama, please.
森山大臣、壇上の方へ。
Minister Moriyama, please.
皆様こんにちは。
Hello, everyone.
文部科学大臣の森山です。
My name is Moriyama, Minister of Next.
運転開始
I'd like to extend my sincere congratulations on the occasion of the JT-60SA inauguration ceremony.
組み立てを開始してから
It is now 10 years since the assembly of JT-60SA began. I'm very pleased that operations have commenced after overcoming various difficulties.
先ほど
Earlier on, when the plasma generated a few moments ago, I was deeply moved, recalling the many years of hard work by the Japanese and European engineers and researchers involved in its construction.
私自身大変感慨深いものでございました。フュージョンエネルギーの実現を目指
With the
し
aim of realizing fusion energy, Japan has been engaged in research and development through the ITER program, a cooperative effort among 7 global regions, and BA activities conducted jointly by Japan and Europe. As part of the BA activities,
研究所に建設された
the JT-60SA constructed here at the Naka Fusion Institute has provided a great deal of knowledge for ITER under construction in France. It will also be used for various experiments prior to the completion of ITER, which should be very useful in the future. Yesterday, Prime Minister Kishida also made a statement to accelerate efforts towards the early realization of fusion energy. MEXT is committed to developing the infrastructure for the demo by making maximum use of the technologies and human resources that Japan has cultivated, including JT-60SA. In doing so, we will strengthen our partnership with like-minded countries in Europe and elsewhere, and will focus our efforts on R&D and human resource development. I would like to conclude my congratulatory address by expressing my hope that JT-60SA, which will play a central role in this effort, will produce even greater results in the future. Thank you very much.
森山大臣、ありがとうございました。
Thank you very much, Minister Moriyama.
Our next speaker is not only responsible for the broader approach, the extension of which she signed on behalf of Europe in 2020. She was entrusted with the strategic portfolio of European energy overall, which she had to repower, redesign, and roll out in record time. Please welcome the European Commissioner for Energy, Kadri Simson.
Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, Minister Moriyama, Minister Takaishi, members of the Japanese Parliament, dear friends, it is an honor to be here today. And I'm glad that Mr. Parabashi, the Director General of ITER, is here with us, along with his Deputy Director General, Mr. Kamada. In their previous roles, they both have led the construction of the JT-60SA. And I am also glad to see representatives of the European member states that have voluntarily contributed to the broader approach activities: Belgium, France, Germany, Italy, and Spain. Thank you all for your support in making this project a success. Today, the 1st December of 2023, is a milestone for fusion history. JT-60SA, the most advanced tokamak in the world, officially starts operating. This fusion reactor is not only a scientific and technological achievement, it is also a joint Japanese and European effort under the broader approach international agreement. And so it is a symbol of the partnership between Japan and the EU on fusion and of our long-standing cooperation on energy and research. With this tokamak, Japan and Europe are positioning themselves as world leaders on magnetic fusion research. This has been some time in the making. In March 2020, a few days before the COVID-19 outbreak, I signed one of my first cooperation agreements as Commissioner for Energy in Brussels, the joint declaration between Japan and the EU to continue bilateral cooperation on fusion. And today, 3 years later, here in Japan, I'm honored and pleased to see the fruit of this cooperation. JT-60SA has now become a reality. Its unique technology will allow for unprecedented scientific experiments, and the results of these experiments will feed the progress of the ITER project towards building the world's biggest fusion machine and advancing fusion energy technology for a greener and more sustainable energy mix. More generally, they will be instrumental for building future fusion power plants. This is key, especially at this time when we are putting all efforts into mitigating the disastrous effects of climate change and taking forward the clean energy transition. Fusion has the potential to become a key component for energy mix in the second half of this century. It can be a source of low-carbon, safe, reliable, and predictable energy, and it's something Europe is committed to. Over the period 2021 to 2027, Europe will invest around 6 billion euros in fusion development, involving laboratories, startups, and industry. We will focus on operating this fusion reactor, on constructing ITER, and on creating that adequate ecosystem to be able to commercially fusion. Dear friends, the road to fusion is not easy. In 2021, there were reports of project setbacks. It took 2 years of hard work by the European Fusion for Energy and the Japanese National Institutes for Quantum Science and Technology to surmount these remaining technological issues. There may be similar challenges for ITER and other fusion initiatives, but the experience gained from building and operating this tokamak will be invaluable. It's now time to build momentum on today's achievement. This project is a window to the future, a facility open to the new generation of European and Japanese scientists and engineers. And in this respect, I welcome the initiative of the JT-60SA International Fusion School that gathers young Japanese and European scientists and engineers. We need young talents to ensure the knowledge transfer between generations. And finally, I would like to warmly thank and congratulate everyone involved, both in Europe and Japan, for this historical success. Thank you all for making this cooperation a reality.
Thank you, Commissioner Simpson.
Next, from the Cabinet Office, Minister of State for Science and Technology Policy, Minister Sanae Takaichi, please. Minister Takaichi.
皆様こんにちは。
Hello everyone.
JT-60SA の運転開始記念式
I would like to take this opportunity to congratulate you on today's ceremony commemorating the start of JT-60SA operation. During the Comprehensive Science, Technology and Innovation Conference in June, we connected Prime Minister's office at the Inauguration Institute via live link and actually saw the efforts of Japanese and European researchers working towards the first plasma. And I was able to directly see that, so I'm very pleased that your efforts have borne fruit this time. I'm extremely happy. Fusion energy is expected to be the next generation of energy to solve environmental and energy problems. And throughout the world, there is international competition which has become extremely fierce globally due to the establishment of many startups backed by rapidly increasing private investment, as well as unique initiatives by governments around the world. Therefore, the Japanese government has formulated a national strategy, the first of its kind in Japan, to overcome this competition. Fusion Energy Innovation Strategy. That is the first. And yesterday, the head of ITER, Mr. Barbowski, paid a courtesy call on Prime Minister Kishida, and as Minister Moriyama mentioned earlier on, the Prime Minister has expressed his commitment to accelerate efforts towards the early realization of fusion energy. I was very much encouraged. So the industrialization of fusion energy, which is the vision of the national strategy, will require the help of many Japanese companies, including those who are involved in the construction of JT-60SA. And not only Japanese companies, but the efforts of researchers and engineers will also be required. So the Cabinet Office will make every effort to realize fusion energy and development of related industries with a view to establishing an industry council by the end of this fiscal year with the involvement of industry. And also, not only fusion energy and spin-out type of relevant industries, we would like to make efforts to develop that. So in closing, I'd like to thank all of you for your efforts in organizing this ceremony. And all the researchers here today involved in research and development, I hope for your happiness and future activities of everyone present here today. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Minister Takaichi. Minister Takaichi will have to leave because of official duties. Thank you very much for joining us despite your very busy schedule.
Within Europe, Fusion for Energy was responsible for integrating the efforts of a wide range of contributors from many fusion institutions. Please welcome the Director of Fusion for Energy, Mr. Marc Lachaise.
Dear Minister, Commissioner, Ambassadors, Members of Parliament, ladies and gentlemen, friends and colleagues. Back in May, when I was visiting Japan with my family, we were impressed by the incredible bond that Japan has with tradition and its unparalleled imagination for the future, both coexisting in perfect harmony. When we see JT-60SA, there is this element of past, building on the knowledge of the previous fusion devices, and a strong feeling of future by anticipation and hope of its new version. Today, this is a fact. This device is ready. This device is the most powerful tokamak to date in operation. One of the key lessons of JT-60SA is the value of science diplomacy in a world which is becoming increasingly fragmented and volatile. Science has this ability to unite, to make us see the big picture and respond collectively to common challenges. What happens here today will matter tomorrow in deciding the long-term contribution of fusion energy to mankind. The role of Fusion for Energy was, and it still is, the European coordination of JT-60SA, while counting on the voluntary contribution on some member states. For this device, as Europe and Japan, we brought together more than 500 scientists and 70 industrial partners. Fusion laboratories and companies worked side by side to manufacture its components. JT-60 is key to our fusion roadmap. because it gives our experts a one-of-a-kind possibility to learn, operate the device, and to share that valuable knowledge with ITER. And no one is better placed than the Director General and his deputy, who until recently still together the project here. In its phase of operation, Fusion for Energy will play an important role alongside Eurofusion by providing equipment and personnel. It's a clear demonstration that we will continue to invest in this project because we see its potential. So let me conclude with a few words addressed to engineers, scientists involved from Europe and Japan, standing in front of me or watching us remotely early morning in Europe. Thank you. Thank you for your commitment, for your passion, for your excel, and for your team spirit. You developed a new mindset, defying distance and cultural diversity. You did it in an exemplary manner. All those human stories you've wrote together behind JT-60 are as big, as strong, as unique as this device. Let's keep building together the future of fusion, and Fusion for Energy will always be on your side. Arigatou gozaimashita. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Lachaise.
Next,
衆議院議員
Member of the House of Representatives, the Chairman of the Liberal Democratic Party's Fusion Energy Promotion League, Mr. Eisuke Mori.
森会長、会長よろしくお願いします。
Chairman Mori, please.
ご紹介に預かり
Thank
ま
you
し
very much for your
た
kind
自由
introduction.
民主党
I'm
核融合エネルギー
I'm the
推進
chair of
議
the
員連盟の会
LDP's
長を務めており
Fusion
ます
Energy Promotion League. My name is Mori Eisuke.
本日は JT-60SA の運転開始式典という
Inauguration ceremony. This is a very significant opportunity. Thank you very much for your
誠にあり
invitation.
がとうございました。大変光栄に
I'm
存
very
じます
honored.
私どもの議員連盟
Now,
は
our
結構
parliamentary
歴史が
league
古くてで
has
す
a
ね
long history.
これまで40年近
Until
くにわ
now,
た
for more
っ
than
て
40 years,
活動を続
we
けてま
have
いり
been
ました。
carrying out our
特に
activities.
強
Especially
く心に残っておりますことは
impressive is
ITER のですね
ITER's
設計研究が
design
長い
research.
期間にわたって
For a
行
very
われ
long
てです
time,
ね
it has been
いざサ
conducted.
イトを作
And
るという
when
段になって
constructing
ち
the
ょう
site at
ど
that time,
20世紀の終わり
that
から
was
21世紀
the
の
end
初
of
め
the
にかけての
20th
頃でしたけ
century
れ
to
ど
the
も
beginning of the
その
21st
時に
century
で
at
す
that
ね
time.
それまで日本
Until
EU
then, Japan,
米国ロシアと
EU,
いう
US, Russia,
4極で
the
やってき
four
たわけで
countries
大変協
were
力してやってきたんですけども
collaborating in these efforts. But where to place the site? When making that decision, there was very intense competition to place their site in their country. And as a result of that, it was decided that it was going to be in Katarashi in France. In Japan, pushed for Rokkasho Mura. And at that time, our LDP Promotion League was at the forefront to make a lot of efforts. However, we lost. But the broader approach research was made possible as a result of that to carry out joint cooperation. So Japan, EU has been jointly constructing JT-60SA as a result. And first plasma generation was achieved and operations began. We are very, very happy. Looking back on Japan, EU efforts until now, I would like to pay my utmost respects. Now, our parliamentary union, this morning, we had a meeting, large meeting, and Commissioner Simpson from the European Commission, as well as Mr. Barabatsky, was here as well. And he talked about the current situation of ITER construction and the future prospects. It was very realistic to us. And also at the General Assembly, the next fiscal year's budget. So we had a resolution to secure that. So nuclear fusion energy, in order to realize this very quickly, ITER plan and the broader approach activities, through that we need to go into the next phase, which is the demo development. So that is what we need to aim at going forward. So, we at the Parliamentary League, going forward, the ITER project and broader approach, we hope that these will be promoted, so we would like to make the utmost efforts to support that. And we would like to communicate our determination to do so to all of you. Now, going forward, the JT-60SA, from the experiment there, nuclear fusion, I'm sure there will be many results that will contribute to nuclear fusion, and we hope that these will be realized. I have high expectations. So as quickly as possible, I hope that fusion can be realized on this earth. With this, I would like to end my congratulatory remarks. Thank you very much, and congratulations.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mori. Mr. Mori will have to leave due to his official engagements. Thank you very much for joining us despite your busy schedules.
Besides fusion for energy, the European contribution to JT-60SA wouldn't have been possible without our voluntary contributors, Belgium, France, Germany, Italy, and Spain, each of which took responsibility to deliver key tokamak components. Would the ambassadors of Belgium, France, and Italy please join us on stage? So on behalf of the Kingdom of Belgium, please welcome Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary, Mr. Antoine Evra.
Hello, everyone.
Commissioner, Mr. Minister, Excellency, distinguished guests, it is an honor to join you in celebrating the beginning of a new era for fusion energy research in Japan. Belgium is very proud to have been part of the JT-60SA project, which will help the world to develop a new important source of energy. Belgium's nuclear industry participated in the fabrication and testing of the toroidal field coils by delivering a large cryostat and several auxiliary features allowing the test to the superconductive coils at very low temperatures. I would like to mention in particular the following companies: Atelier de la Meuse and Amos, the Research Institute Centre Spatial de Liège, and finally STK-CEN, the Belgian Nuclear Research Center, which coordinates the entire Belgian contribution to the broader approach. Let me use today's occasion to congratulate all the people involved in making this project a reality, in particular our Japanese partners who are hosting us today. There is still a long way to go, but through initiatives like these, as well as our collaboration under ITER, we are going closer to realizing the full potential of fusion energy. Thank you. Arigato gozaimasu.
Speaking for France, we have a video message from the Director of Fundamental Research at CEA, Madame Anne-Isabelle Etirinvra.
Dear Minister, dear Commissioner, Excellencies and distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to talk to you today on behalf of the French Atomic and Alternative Energies Commission. In 2007, CEA was entrusted by the French Ministry of Research to fulfill the commitments of France in the broader approach activities. Since then, CEA staff has been working with QST, Fusion for Energy and European contributors in a very collaborative way to make in particular the JT-60SA challenge possible. The historical expertise of CEA teams in the field of cryotechnology and superconducting magnets has been fully mobilized together with our European and in particular French industrial partners, Air Liquide, General Electric, SDMS and Alcyon in particular. CEA has delivered 10 toroidal field coils and the cryogenic system. All European toroidal field coils were tested in our dedicated installations in Saclay before the last travel to Japan. I would like to warmly thank our French project leaders, Gondé-san, Vallée-san, Maksud-san, and Oa-san, for their constant dedication to the project. In projects as complex and ambitious as JT-60, we know the importance of the role played by the project leaders to face the technical challenges and gather the expertise of teams belonging to different countries. Congratulations and warm thanks to Ishada-san, Shirai-san, Anada-san, Kamada-san, Davis-san, and Barabaski-san for their strong leaderships. No doubt that JT-60SA will play a key role on the route to fusion, and I expect that Japanese and European researchers will get a huge benefit from it in the years to come. I wish to all of you success in this impressive and very promising project, which has already tightened our relationship in a remarkable way. Thank you very much.
We're delighted to have the French Ambassador Philippe Seton with us here today as well. Ambassador, welcome. Next, please enjoy this video message from the German Federal Minister of Education and Research, Ms. Stark-Watzinger.
Dear ladies and gentlemen, the energy crisis has made us aware. A clean, reliable and affordable supply of energy is crucial for the well-being of modern societies. Progress, growth and prosperity, energy makes all this possible. I am firmly convinced fusion energy is a gigantic chance. It is an important step to a better future. JT-60SA is part of this effort. Germany has expertise in fusion research. We see it as our responsibility to be part of the project. It was initiated on the basis of the broader approach agreement signed between Japan and Europe in 2007. It is a prime example that shows international cooperation in fusion research is of key importance. Thanks to the close cooperation between Europe and Japan, thanks to the intensive scientific and technological cooperation between our countries. Today, we are celebrating an important milestone in fusion research, in making ideas real. My congratulations go to all those involved in making this project successful. As the German Minister of Research, I'm especially thankful to the Karlsruhe Institute of Technology. It was in charge of the development, construction, testing. The German government is glad to have provided funding for this scientific contribution. We promote future energy with great strength, free of ideology, open-minded and ambitious. JT-60SA is the largest tokamak in operation. We now eagerly await the upcoming experimental phase. Japan and Germany, together we share fundamental values. Together we find answers to the urgent questions of our times. I look forward to continuing our close cooperation.
From our fourth voluntary contributor, Italy, we present a message from the Italian Minister for the Environment and Energy Safety, Mr. Pichetto Fratin.
Voglio congratularmi, buongiorno, con il team di scienziati e ingegneri che hanno realizzato questa grande macchina da fusione a confinamento magnetico mai realizzata fino ad oggi nel mondo. Da Ministro dell'Ambiente e della Sicurezza Energetica, titolare del programma di fusione italiano, sono orgoglioso che il nostro Paese abbia contribuito al successo di oggi. Abbiamo fornito supporto scientifico e componenti del tokamak come contributo volontario nell'ambito dell'accordo tra l'Unione Europea ed il Giappone. Grazie a fondi per circa 70 milioni di euro messi a disposizione dal governo italiano con il coordinamento dell'Enea, l'industria italiana ha realizzato componenti importanti. Si tratta di cavi superconduttori per i magneti, bobine toroidali, superconduttori, casse di contenimento delle bobine, alimentazione per il sistema magnetico. Questa iniziativa rappresenta una pietra miliare nello sviluppo dell'energia da fusione e siamo pronti a contribuire alla messa in servizio della macchina e naturalmente al suo sfruttamento scientifico. Ed è importante implementare la collaborazione di questo progetto con il nuovo esperimento di fusione italiano che Enea sta realizzando nel nostro Paese. Desidero infine ringraziare il professor Giorgio Rostagni per il ruolo rilevante svolto durante la fase negoziale per la conclusione di questo importante accordo tra Giappone ed Unione Europea. Un accordo strategico che prevedeva il contributo volontario di alcuni paesi europei e che oggi vediamo realizzato con questo successo. Con questo io auguro a tutti voi del team il miglior successo nell'impegno che considero importante per il futuro dell'energia, per il futuro del pianeta e quindi di tutta la comunità umana. Grazie, buon lavoro a tutti.
Also here today we are honoured to receive Italian Ambassador Gianluigi Benedetti. Your Excellency, welcome. Finally, for Spain, a video from the CIEMAT Director General for Research Planning, Mr. Gonzalo Arevalo.
Hello, thanks for the invitation to participate in this ceremony and apologize for not being able to be in person. Nevertheless, Spain is represented by our embassy and Spanish key technical people involved in the IFMIF donors program. We are fully committed to international research infrastructures. During this semester that we hold the presidency of the Council of the European Union, we celebrated a high-level international conference on research infrastructures, and its main outcome was the so-called Tenerife Declaration, endorsed by all the European Union member states and the European Commission. Among others, it calls to impulse the global dimension of research infrastructures, fostering the collaboration worldwide. We, Spain and Japan, have strong reciprocal relations on research infrastructures. This is the case of the successful collaboration between our countries in 3 facilities. First, in the field of astroparticles for the construction of the gamma ray array part of the Northern Observatory of the Cherenkov Telescope array in the Canary Islands. Second, with the construction of the Hiper-Kamiokande neutrinos detector in HIDA. And third, the IFMIF Dones initiative in Granada as the facility to test the materials to house and run an accelerator to produce high-energy neutrons and to stimulate the first-world neutron flux and spectrum of future nuclear fusion reactors. As you can see, we are very engaged in the fusion energy challenge and eager to strengthening the mutually beneficial relationships. I wish to highlight the following Spanish-specific contributions to the JT-60SA. The design and manufacturing of the cryostat base and the vessel body that serve to successfully complete the tokamak with its vacuum vessel and coils in 2020. In the field of plasma diagnostics, development, the design of the Doppler reflectometry diagnostics, and currently in the design, build, and delivery of the pellet acceleration system. I want to confirm Spanish willingness to make this program even a greater success. and also to maintain this spirit in challenges related to fusion energy, such as the IMIF-DONES program. My warmest congratulations to the whole JT-60SA team. Thank you very much.
Ambassadors, thank you. Our next speaker. Our next speaker can be described as Europe's architect behind JT-60SA. Our team is indebted to his technical leadership, managerial skill, and above all, passionate dedication. Please welcome the Director General of ITER organization, Pietro Barabaschi.
I love these days. We should just have to find a way to make them more frequently. We are working on it, on ITER. Okay, so Commissioner Simpson, Minister Moriyama, European representative, Japanese representative from Fusion for Energy, from QST, from the voluntary contributors, ladies and gentlemen, it is for me a very great pleasure to be here, let's say, as DG of ITER, but also in my role in the design, in the construction of this project. So you can imagine where my heart is today. Since, and say until 1 year ago, I have been in the leadership, co-leadership of this project. And so today it fills my heart with, of course, many emotions. We in Europe and Japan, we have worked together, counting every euro, let's see, every yen, every moment to keep the schedule, to keep the cost of this project, to follow the contracts, to maybe ride these contracts on top of following them. It was quite an adventure. We had to persevere against many technical difficulties during assembling, during commissioning, and now together we will operate this beautiful research infrastructure. What we built together, what we will see during the tour, it's a machine, but I think for me, it's a machine which has a soul. Its personality derives from the other face of this great experience, the social and human side. Indeed, I think that together not only we turn money into an object, into a research infrastructure, into a tokamak, but together we also forge something of equal, if not of larger value. A powerful new way to cooperate in projects, which I really think provides a management model that we have created from scratch, which I believe will and can be used as a model for many projects to come. So I feel very blessed, like many of you that have participated in this project, blessed to have been part of this wonderful experience. With you, all the power and strength of the European and Japanese collaboration within the broader approach projects will now be able to flow elsewhere, in other projects, I hope. Certainly, myself and my brother-in-arm, Kamada-san, will do our best to spread this approach to the ITER project. So, dear colleagues, thank you for your passion, for your endurance, and for your close friendship. I would like to conclude also by expressing my deepest gratitude to all those from Euratom, from the voluntary contributors, from MEXT. You have remained faithful and supportive all the way along the long path that led to this moment. I am sure that you had your own doubts, many of you. But you seemingly persevered just as we did. And now I trust you can also treasure this moment. You really deserve a big thank from all of us. So thank you very much again for giving us this unforgettable memory. Thank you.
Thank you.
I would like to thank our guests of honor for your kind words of encouragement. In addition to those who gave speeches today, there are many more who are here for the ceremony. Let me call out some of the names in no particular order. Member of the House of Representatives, Mr. Kajiyama Hiroshi, we have his secretary attending. Member of House of Representatives, Ms. Nagaoka Keiko. Member of the House of Representatives, Mr. Ishikawa Akimasa. Member of the House of Representatives, Mr. Tadokoro Yoshinori, his secretary is attending the ceremony. Member of the House of Representatives, Mr. Asano Satoshi, his secretary is attending the ceremony. Member of the House of Representatives, Mr. Kira Shuji. Member of the House of Representatives, Mr. Soramoto Seiki. Member of the House of Councillors, Mr. Akaike Masaki. Member of the House of Councillors, Mr. Kozuki Ryosuke, his secretary is attending the ceremony on behalf. A member of the House of Councillors, Mr. Kato Akiyoshi, his secretary is attending the ceremony on his behalf. Member of the House of Councillors, Ms. Dogomi Makiko.
Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary of the European Union to Japan, Mr. Jean-Éric Paquet.
Mr.
Matsuo Hiroki, Vice Minister of Science, Technology and Innovation Policy of the Cabinet Office. The Senior Deputy Minister of Education, Culture, Sports, Science and Technology, Mr. Masuko Hiroshi. Deputy Director General, Assistant Minister of Disarmament, Non-Proliferation and Science, Mr. Kitagawa Katsuro. Mayor of Naka City, Mr. Masaki Hikaru. Mayor of Tokai Village, Mr. Yamada Osamu. The chairman of the expert panel on the nuclear fusion technology, Mr. Shinohara Hiromichi. So there are many more attending the ceremony today, but due to the time constraints, we regret we cannot introduce you all. Thank you for your kind understanding. We also have received many congratulatory telegrams. Again, due to the time limitations, we cannot read them out, but they are displayed in the lobby for you to read later. You will be also be able to read them at the reception venue. Lastly, we have received a video message from QST Chairman, Mr. Koyasu, to express his gratitude to all of you. Let me play the video. Please watch the screen.
QST 理事長の小安です。
My name is
本
Koyasu,
日は
President of the Board of QST.
JT-60SA
Thank you very
運
much for
転開
coming
始
to
記念
the
式典へご参集いただ
JT-60SA
き
Inauguration
誠にあ
Ceremony.
りがとうございます。本来であれ
I
ば
wish
会場
I
に
could
て
have been there
直接
with you in
皆様方に
person,
御礼を申し上げるべきところでございま
and
す
I
が
regret that I
こ
have
の
to
ような
thank you
ビデオ
through
メ
a
ッセー
video
ジと
message
なり
like
ましたこ
this.
と大変申し訳ございません。昨今の気
Today,
候変動や
there
国際
is
情
an
勢を
increasing
発端と
focus
し
is
て
given on
クリーンな
the
次
research
世
and
代エネ
development
ル
of the
ギーへの
transition
移行を
to
目指し
cleaner
た
next
研
generation
究開
energy
発
in
が
response to the
注目
climate
を浴び
change
ております。
and the current global state of
中でも
affairs.
Fusion energy その
is considered to be
大きな
one of the
候
most
補と考
promising
えられてお
candidates.
り、その実用化へ向
And
け
as you
て
all know, there
世
are
界中
many
で
active
官民の
collaborations
連
between
携
the
が
public
活
and the
発化し
private
ていることは
sectors around the
皆様
world
も
to
よく
make
ご
it
存知
a
の通りで
reality.
す。そのような中で特にフュージョンエネルギーのコア技術の開発を目指す JT-60SA 計画は国際協力で建設が進む ITER と国際競争を進められている原経路開発、この2つの橋渡しをする重要な事業であり、日本と欧州が強固な連携で進めている幅広いアプローチ、BA 活動の一環として日欧の研究機関や企業がタッグを組んで取り組んでいる事業でございます。この2年間、皆様には大変ご心配をおかけいたしましたが、この度 JT-60SA で初めてのトカマクプラズマ生成に成功し、本日こうして皆様にお披露目をできたこと、私どもにとって大変大きな喜びでございます。前身の装置である JT-60U の運転終了から15年、この地で再びトカマクプラズマをと願ってご支援いただいた皆様に心より御礼を申し上げます。本当にありがとうございました。日欧の研究者、技術者、政府と地方自治体、大学や研究機関と産業界、そして国会議員の先生方に代表される国民の皆様、まさにみんなの夢に向かって活動した結果がこのような成果につながったと、そのように考えております。初めてのトカマクプラズマ生成以来、世界最大のトカマクプラズマの生成など、すでに新たな成果も出つつあります。実験の成果だけではなく、本日ご覧いただいたように、中央制御室では日欧の研究者、技術者の熱気にあふれ、新しい芽も育ちつつあります。このような成果のもとになった人材や知見は同じ道を歩んでいくであろうITERに生かされると思います。また今後 JT-60SA では原経路開発に向けた新たな実験が始まりますが、そのような中で育つ人材や知見が将来の原経路の建設に大きく貢献すると確信しております。今後の JT-60SA の計画でございますけれども、これからは装置を増強し、フュージョンエネルギーの実用化を見据えたプラズマの加熱実験を令和7年度中に開始することを目指しております。フュージョンエネルギーの実現にはまだまだ越えなければならないハードルがたくさんございますが、QST といたしましてはこれまでの成果を生かしつつ慢心することなく、しっかりと成果を創出して社会の皆様のご期待に添えるよう全力で活動してまいります。最後になりますが、これまでより一層のご指導、ご鞭撻、ご協力を皆様にお願いして、私からの主催者のご挨拶とさせていただきます。誠に本日はありがとうございました。
ご視聴ありがとうございました。
Thank you very much
for joining us for the JT-60SA Inauguration Ceremony. This brings us to the end of today's event. Many thanks to all of you for being here, either in Naka or online. Congratulations to the whole team for your remarkable contribution and commitment to this project. Thank you.
以上をもちまして JT-60SA 運転開始記念式典を終了させていただきます。本日は大変お忙しい中ご出席いただきまして誠にありがとうございます。これより森山大臣とシムソン委員の共同記者会見の準備をいたしますので、そのままお待ちください。また JT-60SA の見学を順番に開始いたします。4班に分かれますが、お渡しいたしました名札に貼ってあるシールの色がご自身の見学班の色でございます。フロントグラスにそれと同じ色のマークをつけたバスに乗っていただきます。まずはご来賓の方から見学を始めますので、胸にお花をつけていらっしゃる方はご退出いただきまして、バスにご乗車いただきたいと思います。記者会見後、森山大臣とシムソン委員が合流いたします。
L 位置は確認できて、はい、てればよかったね。司会は文科省がやる。司会はあ、そう。なるほど。
見れないんですよね。見学はいけないんですよ。満員なんです。あはは。Not today, but
はい。ご用意ができましたので、森山大臣と、シムソン委員はステージの上にお上がりください。それ以外の方は、すいませんが、ご着席の方をよろしくお願いします。共同記者会見を開始いたしますので、皆様着席お願いします。
Please be seated.
それではこれより3時40分までを目安に森山大臣とシムソン委員による共同記者会見を開催いたします。まずは共同プレス声明の発表についてご説明いたします。日本と欧州はこれまでITER計画や BA 活動を通じまして核融合炉の実現に向けた共同の研究開発を長年にわたって推進してきました。JT-60SA の運転開始を記念するこの機会に両社の協力関係を再確認しまして BA 活動の推進、そして JT-60SA のご支援、人材育成の強化に関しての意思を表明するため、フュージョンエネルギーに関する文部科学大臣とエネルギー担当欧州委員の共同プレス声明を発表することとなりました。声明文につきましては、この後、文部科学省および欧州委員のホームページにて公表いたします。それでは森山大臣、シムソン委員、お手元の共同プレス声明にご署名をお願いいたします。交換をお願いします。
Please exchange.
続きまして、今回、プラズマの運転の開始と初プラズマの達成を祝すということで、日本の伝統行事であるだるまの命令を行いたいと思います。このだるまは欧州代表部のパケ大使より贈呈されまして、先日、日曜のプロジェクトリーダーによりプラズマの運転の成功を祈願して片目が入れられております。本日皆様の前で プラズマの運転が無事に達成されましたので、森山大臣とシムソン委員にもう片方の目を入れてもらい、お祝いとさせていただきたいと思います。それでは、だるまの命令をお願いいたします。はい、ありがとうございました。それではだるまは台の上にお戻しください。
Please return the daruma to the table.
ご着席ください。
Please be seated.
これより質疑応答に移ります。
So now we'd like to move on to
質疑応答は挙手にてお願いいたします。大変申し訳ございませんが、すみません。もう少し前の方は着席でお願いします。
Those of you in the front, can you please be seated?
それでは質疑応答を開始いたしたいと思います。指名されましたら所属とですね、お名前を述べていただきまして、マイクの方にいただきましてご質問をお願いします。ご質問ある方いらっしゃいますか。
Does anyone have a question?
よろしいですか。記者の方、大丈夫ですか。
The reporters, no questions.
よろしいですか。ちょっと私見えてないですけど、記者の方。
I can't see everyone. No questions.
No questions. So, Peter, you would like to ask something to both of them? No? はい、それでは記者の方からもご質問がないようですので、記者会見はこれで終了させていただきたいと思います。森山大臣、シムソン委員もありがとうございました。
Commissioner Simpson, thank you very much.
この後、森山大臣とシムソン委員は JT-60SA の見学に向かっていただくためご退席いたします。拍手でお見送りいただきたいと思います。よろしくお願いします。 はい、続きまして、QST およびフュージョン・フォー・エナジー職員による質疑応答を行います。ご出席の皆様方は休憩時間となりますので、ご来賓の見学が終了次第、16時10分頃、順番に JT-60SA を見学いただきます。
Thank you very much for waiting. Now, we would like to start the Q&A with QST and Future for Energy staff members. So let us introduce the responders to your questions. To the right-hand side, from QST and Naka Fusion Institute, Deputy Director General Mr. Satoru Higashiyama. Next, in the middle, Fusion for Energy, JT-60SA, European Project Manager Guy Phillips. And on the left-hand side, from Fusion for Energy, JT-60SA, Deputy Project Leader Sam Davis. Thank you. Before we ask for your questions, very briefly, we would like to explain. So, we'd like to begin the press briefing. Thank you. As introduced, I'm the Deputy Director, Higashijima is my name, and JT-60SA Tokamak Group. I'm also General Manager, so I'm also the person responsible for the JT-60SA equipment. So, thank you all very much for coming today. And as you have requested concerning access, we have already mentioned that there will be no access, and now we have asked you to come today. We're still thinking of what to do going forward, but we'd like to ask for your understanding on that. So, very sorry for my long introduction. So, JT-60SA Integrated Commissioning Achievement of First Plasma, let me first explain.
Okay. So I will それでは中身の方についてですね入りたいと思います。まず初プラズマ。
So let me explain. So we have been able to achieve first plasma, as we have said.
初プラズマってどういう意味があるんですか。
What exactly is first plasma?
簡単にご説明をしたい
So let me very briefly explain.
私の方からは日本語でご説
So I
明
will
して
explain in Japanese, and then
FOE の担当者の方から英語の方
F4E will respond in
まず
English.
初プラズマというときに
So when we say first plasma,
ちゃんとした装置
JT-60SA equipment. So this has to function properly so that the plasma can be contained, and we were able to achieve that. Now, JT-60SA, the integrated commissioning has been done in sequence, so each has to function properly. Otherwise, we will not be able to achieve plasma. So first, when plasma has been generated, that means that this equipment is complete. We were able to confirm that. That was October 23rd. We will show you the plasma later. And first plasma, significance of that, as I mentioned, everything has to work and function as a system. So this past 1 month, what have we been doing? So by using plasma, the device controllability, superconducting coil is used. So it's very fast control is very difficult. And concerning that, how can we generate plasma? How can this be controlled? And so for 1 month, we have continuously conducted testing. So in the central control room, you were able to see this. So for the discharge that went well, we would like to explain. JT-60, the fastest device in the world. As a system, this is functioning. And that has been confirmed. So that is the meaning for today. And the very last point. So this is the achievement of first plasma. The controllability, how plasma has been achieved and how we develop this. So the plasma manufacturing has been advanced. And maybe easiest to understand is that this is the largest device in the world. The plasma volume world record has been renewed, 160 cubic meters. The largest thus far was JET's 100 cubic meters. So this one is 50% higher than that.
So the first point here is to explain what a plasma is. A plasma is the fourth state of matter. It is when a gas is heated to a high enough level that the electrons are stripped from the nucleus, that a plasma is formed. A plasma actually is quite unstable, but luckily for us, it's also ionized, so we can control the plasma using really strong magnets. So what we have done in this JT-60 tokamak is produced the magnetic field with superconducting magnets to contain the plasma in the vacuum vessel to be able to produce the first plasma on the device. What's significant about this, I think, is a lot of things that have already been said today. This is a project which goes back to 2007. It was signed, the broader approach agreement was signed here in Tokyo in 2007 between the European Commission and Japan. There was a huge amount of work that went into setting up the project teams, setting up the structure of the organisation, organising the work within Europe, and then obviously organising the interfaces to Japan. We have had a number of troubles on the way, both technical and also interpersonal, but we have managed to get over all of the troubles that we've had, and what is really amazing is that we got here today. We have produced a plasma in the last month, and even in the last month we've made a lot more progress. We've progressed further with the commissioning of the machine, things have got better, we've gone to higher currents, higher or larger plasmas and so on. And every day we're understanding more about the machine, about the way it works, about the way the different systems interact with each other, and we're able to push the machine further. So this has really just been a huge achievement for the project, and this is really the main point. About the specifics with regards to the results, yes, this is the plasma that we produce now. We've actually made a world record, so produced the largest volume plasma, 160 cubic meters. This has never been done before, so this is also a great achievement.
Okay.
So I think it's better if you can focus a bit. So let me be quick. The interpreters are only available till 4, so I would like to speed up. The first plasma, let me explain a bit about this. We were able to achieve this on October 23rd. So we have been able to turn it on for about 500 seconds. So it was so fast.